You go back to your root, you go back doing what you grow up doing and chasing that kind of first memory of having amazing food. I felt like it's easier for you to reconnect.
This is The Crackling. I'm Anthony Huckstep. It's always exciting to be in someone's kitchen, and this is a pretty hot kitchen at the moment. Andy Wirya, Island Radio, how are you?
Very well, thank you, Anthony. How have you been?
I'm good. It's exciting to be in this restaurant. It's got so many different facets to it. You sort of walk along and another room opens up. It's an amazing sight. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, so the different segment through the restaurant, because it's also heritage listed building. So there's a lot of the construction that we can't move, or we have to keep the originality of it. So as you might have noticed, when you come in, we've got the kiosk just sitting at the front that we always open 7 days with that one. We're doing some sandwiches. We're also gonna do some rice bowl and some vermicelli noodle.
Nice.
That's the plan for the future, yeah. And we're aiming just to be able to cater to the audience within the $15 price point. And we follow it with the noodle bar. Then that's a quick, easy kind of turn. You want people to come in and out within kind of like 30 minutes, spending around $20 with a drink, and they will be satisfied. And then we normally close it with the curtain, and then that's when you open it and you see the whole restaurant with all the moon orb and the DJ booth. So within the restaurant is very variance. We've started with $44 on our banquet menu, and it goes up to like $79 and $130. So it can really is up to the guest itself how much they're willing to spend on the night.
Yeah.
They can be really affordable, or they can go as wild as they want it to be. So in the heritage listed, the kitchen split into two. So we've got the main dining where the DJ booths are. Over there, we've got our grill curry as well as larder and pastry. So the grill and curry is they're quite popular with the skewers that we currently have on the menu. The pork skewers is one of the favorite as well. We do it with banana ketchup and coconut vinegar for the dipping. So that's Filipino inspired, and followed by the heritage listed kitchen. We've got our wok as well as our fryer and our oven. So babi guling, roasted pork belly with samo mata is served up in the heritage kitchen. We've got the cool room is actually have the bank safe door still attached to it.
It looks amazing.
Yes, we keep it as it is, but it's it's actually really good to have that in there as the heritage listed building. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the food here and sort of what the offering is.
For Island Radio, we basically wanna give the experience as if you would have traveled into the Southeast Asia. We focus on the 4 countries. We focus on the Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, as well as Philippines. I strongly believe that this country has just as much as great or amazing food offering as the rest of the Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
But I felt like there's not enough people that kind of export their countries this far yet. So we're giving that countries a bit of an exposure and an opportunity to kind of shine for themselves. So the idea is to have the menu, the first 2 pages quite snacky. So when you go to the Southeast Asia, you travel through the market, you never really get a big meal. You kind of get a little snack as you go. So that's the kind of experience we want to give, rather than people having to choose a big to share meal. And then it comes down to our main course, which we highlight our wok as well as the curry that we do in house. So that is a bit more into like a shareable kind of dishes. And we do also want to showcase our differences in the noodles that inspired within the 4 countries flavor. I think noodle just deserve as much respect as pasta and everything else's, and ramen. So those are the inspiration that we take on for the Island Radio itself. We want people to be able to come and create their own adventure throughout the meal without having to go to the Southeast Asia itself.
Tell us about when you were young.
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts did you grow up, and was food important in your family?
Yes, yeah. I'm born and raised in Indonesia, Jakarta. So growing up, my mom and dad is actually very, very busy. They're always busy working. But mom always told me growing up, I'm always show interest in the kitchen, even from as young as age of 7 apparently. And mom always just to kick me out. It's like, you're a boy, stop hanging around the kitchen. Back in the days, I feel like chefing, especially in Southeast Asia, before MasterChef, before all of this, is a lot into like labor work. So it's not a respectable kind of career choices. So mom never really want me to stay around. But every time they're busy working, I always try to make a little snack for myself and my brother. I still sneak into the kitchen regardless. So yeah, food is always been something that we kind of eat together in the dining table. That's when we can actually catch up and talk about our day. Food is always something that get together between family on celebration. We do a lot of get together on Chinese New Year or family's birthday. So there's always been food around. I always feel like food always bring the best out of people. You don't really fight on the dining table, do you? You do it after. So yeah, food has always been the really big important part of my my life or growing up. Yeah.
Tell us about those sort of first steps to becoming a chef. Like, what was that like for you, and were there some real sort of key moments early on for you?
When I came to Australia when I was about 16. There was kind of like the opportunity that come with a blessing. My family had a bit of extra money to be able to send one of us overseas, and my brother decided to stay on the comfortable life, which I'm quite grateful for. But afterwards, basically, I started from kitchen hand, washing dishes and still putting away the rubbish bin. That's one of the main reasons until today. I would never mind to jump into the pot wash area if I needed to, which set the example for the rest of the team. So it started from there. My family did ask me to just went back and stay in Indonesia because they see me pushing away trolley, doing delivery when I was about 16. I was like, no, I'm all right. So from there, I think my first kind of like click moment when I start joining the Star, my first kind of fine dining experience at Tokyo as an opening member. And from there, I kind of think really hard and decide what kind of chef I want to be. I believe with like a lot of food, you can always do all this amazing food or like amazing Italian food, but in the end of the day, if you go back to your root, you go back to your root, you go back doing what you grow up doing and chasing that kind of first memory of having amazing food, I felt like it's easier for you to reconnect and creating inspired with the dishes rather than trying to spend your time doing something you've never done before in your life. So that's when I started in focusing on learning more about Indonesian food, learning more about the ingredient. I started by doing the stuffed meal, really.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, always squeezing in those Indonesian flavor in the stuffed meal and getting the feedback throughout the time. And it started grow the love of the passion. It grows from there onwards, and it just keep growing there.
Is there a pork dish from sort of heritage, or looking back, that that reconnection that you've done, that you've created on sort of menus or for staff meals even?
Yeah. One of the pork dishes, which the one that I'm gonna do today, is the pork noodle. I think we do it, or the toss with the sambal mata. Growing up, I've always kind of paired most of the protein with the chili or the sambal, which is the Indonesian most common condiments for most of the proteins. And I've always found out that sambal mata and pork is always something that I always ask or order to when I come into a nice restaurant. And then those kind of food always reconnects with me, and it's easy now. When we kind of design the menu for Island Radio, the the pork noodle dish kind of come up again. I think it's just a beautiful flavor of the lemongrass, the makrut lime, a bit of the anchovy paste together with the pork. It's just harmonized each other. The lime juice in there really cut down the fattiness of the pork itself. So it's just a really beautiful balance, yeah.
Tell us about the cooking process of that dish and the outcome.
Yeah, so the cooking process, for the pork itself, we're using the pork belly that we use also for the babi guling. So any kind of like, by the end of the night, any left of the babi guling, we slice it up for the pork noodle. We also use the part of the pork neck that we've brine and braised overnight. So it's just really nice and tender pork neck. After that, the pork is kind of really lightly fried on the wok before we toast it together with the noodle, garlic shoot, and sambal mata. So sambal mata itself is basically a raw sambal. It's not cooked. It's kind of cured together with the anchovy, the lime juice, and also we put together the lemongrass and makrut lime with eschalot and chili. So it's quite complex kind of like flavor on the sambal mata itself. That just the main flavor for the noodle.
Is it the sort of dish that you see staying on the menu all the time?
I would say so. Yeah, it's a lot name attached to it already. It will be challenging for the rest of the chef trying to come up or change this dish with something better. So it will be challenge for the Mysore chef to come up with it. Yeah.
You've been part of housemaid hospitality for a couple of years now.
Yes.
How does it work? Do you have a pork program across the restaurants, or do you connect with your own suppliers to get the sort of pork that you need for your dishes?
I personally do work with some of the farmers down in Victoria, Melbourne, with the help of Origin Meat. So initially we do 21 days suckling pig that we've done in venue as part of our opening program. So it's beautifully done. So basically what we've done with the suckling pig, we brine it with the brine is inspired by Filipino kind of Spanish brine. So we've got about 2% salt brine with some apple cider vinegar. We've also got some cassia bark, cinnamon, and a bit of a Szechuan pepper that we added in there. We brine it for a couple of days, that 21 days suckling piglet, before we blanch, and we dip it into our apple cider vinegar and maltose solution that helps to create that glossy skin at the end of the product. And then we dried it almost 1 week and a half before we get it into the oven. On the belly side of it, we also put like a Balinese rub. We do like a dry curry rub to help penetrate inside. So after that, we serve it. After the whole cooking process in the oven, you would get like a nice glossy kind of like glass kind of finish because of the maltose and the apple cider vinegar and everything that helps with that kind of glossy skin. We serve it with, then again, sambal mata, assorted pickles. We normally have purple cabbage, cucumber, some onion or shallot pickle, and we serve it with the fresh lettuce as well, or normally in back home we would say lalapan. So it's just to wrap around the meat, and it's a vessels for you to eat, basically.
That sounds extraordinary.
How
long is the process from go to woe for the whole dish?
It took us almost about 2 weeks. It was a very popular dish, and then we weren't expecting to do the number that we're currently doing. We are very blessed for every single day to have this clientele to come in through, but it gets a bit hectic throughout the service. For that reason, we take it off. We change it to pork belly, which is a lot more sustainable, because with the 21 days young piglet, at that time I can only have about 3 to 5 whole piglet a week, so it's not enough to cater to everyone, basically. We will bring it back.
That's good to hear.
We will definitely gonna bring it back. So the plan is to bring it back when our private dining room open. So we do have 2 private dining room upstairs. Once they're open and up and running, I think when people can actually pre-order it, they can plan ahead and we can plan ahead. So I think there's going to be a lot more sustainable approach for the business, yeah.
Absolutely. Is there a particular cut of pork that you like to cook and a best technique to use to get the best out of it?
Personally, I like pork jowl because of I do enjoy a good amount of fat, like a clean, nice fat of the pork. I normally just have it by the grill and we serve it with sambal and over the lettuce wraps as a snack. But I guess for the restaurant perspective, I do use a lot of pork belly. It is very versatile. You can do a lot of approach on the cooking itself, and the popularity itself is people basically known about the pork belly when it's done well.
Yeah,
it's very great product. Yeah.
Is there any sort of tips or tricks or techniques that you think are really handy to know when you are cooking pork?
Especially for pork belly that we do, we tend to poke the skin. So I've learned that through Mr. Wong, Chinese pork belly style cooking. So by poking the skin enough just to penetrate down to the fat layers, not to the meat layer, it will help the cook off the skin a lot better because the fat itself helps to fry off the skin at the higher temperature. And by poking the skin on the pork belly, that's when you get a nice result with a puffing or like getting blisters on your skin. You would just get like a nicely roasted skin on the pork belly, and the crackling on it is amazing.
You mentioned a little earlier about how you're in the kitchen all the time as a kid, and you're obviously destined to be a chef by the sound of it. But take us into the kitchen. You know, you're really getting your voice on a plate here at Island Radio. How do you feel when you're in the kitchen and you're cooking with your team?
At the moment, I've said this a lot to my team, especially as the team grows bigger and bigger. I've strongly believe that what really impacts the plate is the culture. I say that if we have 2 chefs, we give them the recipe measured down to the gram. But one chef is guided by good mentorship. We're telling him that he's doing a great job and so on and so forth, or constructive feedback rather than demeaning feedback. I find that you will get a better result rather than a kitchen that is being run a little bit by fear, or is kitchen that been run with a lot of yelling. I mean, the industry changed. The time has changed a lot. So I felt like with the younger generation, this kind of culture really impact to the plate that they put up. When they in the right mindset, they in the happy environment, even though they make a mistake, it's completely fine. You know, as long as it doesn't go to the guest table, us the senior can always help and guide to fix it. I believe that what really reflects on the plate, a happy team is. Yeah.
Well, if, you know, young chefs out there, what would you say to a young chef now that's looking to carve out a long career in the industry? What advice would you give them?
I would say they need to learn to slow down and take their time. A lot of the younger generation, just in general, just because how the world works, the society works, they want everything instant. They learn it for a day and they want to be able to master it. You know, unfortunately, that's not how the world works. Otherwise, I'll lose my job in a month. I think it's very important for us to just take our time to do the crafts properly. You know, going back to the basic by, you know, taking care of the section, having their own pride of cleaning the things, or having their own pride of the cleaning their vegetable before even prepping it. I think that's important before even learning any other further skills. Is the basic, you know. That's what I feel is missing a lot these days. Sometimes it's a bit concerning. You know, we wouldn't even see some chef. They wouldn't even see what a whole chicken looks like anymore.
Yeah.
It's all coming in a packet, you know. So this basic kind of training, I think, is kind of been forgotten a lot because of the nature of the industry itself. And I think it's very important for the younger chef continuously learning that craft, not just at work but at home. Get yourself a whole chicken while you're at home, cook a whole bird rather than buying a thigh itself. I think it's very important to just continuous learning that craft.
Yeah. Well, Island Radio has really opened up with a bang and doing some extraordinary things here. But what do you love about what you do?
I think to be able to see how it's flourished from nothing. We assemble a whole team. It's not assembling a celebrity chef. We all just people that like what we do. We like what we cooking. We being able to see everything come into places, being able to see the team grow, is sometimes is a happiness that money cannot really replace. Being able to see a happy guest every day, I think there's some reward that we've been blessed lately. So it's a lot of the guests that here, they like to be here, they want to be here. They're not really pretentious about the food, they just enjoy everything that we do. I think that's quite driving me to come into work every day. Yeah.
Well, Andy, I'm very excited to see this pork noodle dish. It's an honour to have you on the Crackling today. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
This is The Crackling, a Deep in the Weeds production in partnership with PorkStar. I'm Anthony Huckstep. Stay tuned as we catch up with some of Australia's best chefs and pork producers to discover what makes Australian pork so special.